Welcome back. I was just grabbing a quick gulp of my tea. How are you doing? I am Serena, and this is the channel where I talk about media and politics on streams and in videos weekly. So there's a story that's recently broke on X. Actually, I saw Piers Morgan post something along the lines of, "Oh, got some big news to share," and everyone was just sort of like piling in the comments, um, all with their own sort of like prediction of what he's talking about. And my prediction was, oh, he's got an interview with the Macrons, um, but that wasn't the case. No, it wasn't. So breaking news, if you like. Breaking news is actually that Piers Morgan, Uncensored, popular his popular show on YouTube. It nears £100 million valuation after stake sale. The US-based merchant bank Rain and Greek media mogul Theo Kyriakou, are among the backers of the former Mirror editor and CNN anchor as he raises funds to grow the uncensored media brand Sky News Learned. So I want to go to the Sky News story because that's the source. It's actually not been reported in many places at the moment, so there's very little coverage. Probably will be quite actively spoken about on X, but for now, this is what we've got. So let's have a look at this story then. This is Sky News, and we'll have a little think about what this is really sort of saying about the media landscape. People have also been drawing sort of parallels to Netflix buying Warner Brothers and how media is changing. So let's have a little think while we read through the story. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. Piers Morgan's Uncensored nears £100 million valuation after stake sale. The US-based merchant, as I said earlier, bank Rain and Greek mogul Theo Kyriakou, I don't know, are among the backers of the former Mirror editor and CNN anchor as he raises funds to grow the uncensored media brand. Okay, so let's look at the story by Mark Kleinman. He's a city editor at Sky. There's Piers. So Piers Morgan, broadcast and journalist, is raising tens of millions of dollars of funding from heavyweight investors as he seeks to turn Uncensored, his YouTube based venture, into a broad based media business, global media based business. Sky News can exclusively reveal that Mr. Morgan is in the process of finalizing a roughly $30 million fundraising for Uncensored that will give it a pre-money valuation of about $130 million. The new investors are understood to include the Rain Group and the New York-based merchant bank. The Rain Group, the New York-based merchant bank, and Theo K, the media mogul behind Greece's Antenna Group, owner of a stake in London-based digital venture, The News Movement. Michael Casson, a marketing veteran, is understood to be advising the business on advertising related matters and may also invest in a personal capacity, according to insiders. A number of family offices from around the world are also said to be in talks to become shareholders in Uncensored. Joe Ravitch, the prominent American banker and Rain co-founder, who has advised in recent years on the sale of Chelsea and Manchester United football clubs, is said to be joining the Uncensored board as part of the capital raising. The move comes nearly a year after Mr. Morgan announced his departure from Rupert Murdoch's British Empire through a deal which handed him full control and ownership of his Uncensored YouTube channel. Allies of Mr. Morgan said this weekend that some details of the fundraising were likely to be confirmed publicly in the coming days. While the size of his personal stake in the business was unclear, this weekend, insiders said the crystallization of a $130 million valuation would mean that Mr. Morgan's economic interest was on paper worth tens of millions of pounds. The ambition is to grow this into a billion-dollar company within a few years, said one person close to the discussions with investors. With the scale of audiences now being given to digital channels and the commercial opportunities there, that is definitely achievable. The former Mirror editor, whose career has also encompassed stints at ITV, sorry, what was wrong with me? Why did I say encompassed stints at ITV with CNN in the US and Mr. Murdoch's global media conglomerates, News Corporation and Fox, is now drawing up a plan to transform Uncensored into a more diverse digital media group. Lots of AI presenters then. And this is expected to include the launch of a series of verticals attached to the Uncensored brand, including channels dedicated to subjects such as history, sport, and technology. History is an interesting one, isn't it? Re-education. Mr. Morgan is already said to be in talks with prominent figures to spearhead some of these new strands, with a chief executive also expected to be recruited to drive the growth of the overall Uncensored business. I swear, Uncensored is such a good brand name, isn't it? His appetite to establish a YouTube based global media network has been driven by the scale of the global audiences he has drawn to some of his recent work, including interviews with the footballer Cristiano Ronaldo and the former world tennis number one Novak Djokovic. So both of those athletes have collaborated with Mr. Morgan by posting parts of their exchanges on social media platforms, attracting hundreds of millions of views. That was a nothing paragraph and a nothing point. Mr. Morgan's access to President Donald Trump, whom he has interviewed on several occasions, is also likely to be a factor in the timing of Uncensored's expansion strategy. I'm always so curious at times, especially at times like this, where everyone is in a bit of a tiz about AI and the future of work, that a media company is essentially expanding. Very interesting. Um, while many legacy news and media networks remain hamstrung by inflated cost bases, Mr. Morgan's decision to go it alone and focus on developing the Uncensored brand reflects his belief that the news and media industries are ripe for disintermediation. What? Disintermediation by channels tied to prominent and sometimes controversial individuals, journalists, and presenters. The Piers Morgan Uncensored YouTube channel has 4.3 million subscribers, roughly half of whom are from the US. Of the remaining 50%, however, only a minority are British, with a significant number based in the Middle East, South Africa, and parts of Asia. This has fueled Mr. Morgan's view that there is journalistic and commercial mileage in creating content on issues which historically might have struggled to generate a significant international audience, such as ongoing military and political tension between India and Pakistan and the white farmer genocide furor in South Africa. Under the deal he struck with Mr. Murdoch in January this year, Mr. Morgan has a 4-year revenue sharing agreement that involves News UK receiving a slice of the advertising revenue generated by Piers Morgan Uncensored until 2029. Mr. Morgan had returned to Mr. Morgan had returned to Mr. Murdoch's media empire in January 2022 with a 3-year agreement that included writing regular columns for The Sun and New York Post, as well as presenting shows on the company's now folded television channel Talk TV. He also recently released a book, Woke is Dead, which was published by Mr. Murdoch's book's subsidiary HarperCollins. As part of new arrangements, Mr. Morgan also signed a deal with Red Seat Ventures, a US-based agency which partners with prominent media figures and influencers to help them exploit commercial opportunities through sponsorship and other revenue streams. Among those Red Seat has worked with are Megyn Kelly, the American commentator, and Tucker Carlson, the former Fox News presenter. While many well known American news media figures are followed because of their partisanship and affiliations to either the political left or right, Mr. Morgan has positioned himself as a ringmaster who is not ideologically hide bound. His plans come at a time of continuing upheaval in the global media industry, with Netflix agreeing a landmark $83 billion deal this week to buy the Hollywood studio Warner Brothers. In the UK, Sky, the Comcast-owned immediate parent company of Sky News, is in talks to acquire ITV's broadcasting business, while the Daily Telegraph newspaper could soon find itself as a stablemate of the Daily Mail if a proposed £500 million deal is successful. Meanwhile, Reach, the London-listed newspaper publisher which owns the Daily Express and the Daily Mirror, now has a market valuation of just £176 million, less than double that of Mr. Morgan's new standalone digital media company. When Sky News revealed Mr. Morgan's move to separate from News UK earlier this year, he said, "Owning the Uncensored brand allows my team and I the freedom to focus exclusively on building Uncensored into a standalone business, editorially and commercially, and in time, widening it from just me and my content." Oh, AI presenters. It's clear from the US election that YouTube is an increasingly powerful and influential media platform. That I agree with, and actually my preferred platform. And Uncensored is one of the fastest growing shows on it in the world. I'm very excited about the potential for Uncensored. This weekend, he added, I'm very excited that some of the most experienced and successful players in the global media industry, like Joe, Michael, and Theo, share my ambitious vision for Uncensored. This is the future of modern media. Well, let's see what you sort of offer in terms of like a menu of content, because there are lots of sort of independent media personalities that have sort of pivoted, or they've sort of expanded, and they provide sort of content in various forms. I'm just very curious to see how they are looking to sort of design an offering with AI in mind, since everyone is sort of cutting and slashing resources. So there's more. There is more. Before I give you more, let's quickly have a chat about Ground News. So I use Ground News as my initial source for news, and I use the Ground News summary for each story that I look up or happen to come across. And I do this because, yes, I'm an affiliate, and there's a subscription link, discount link that you can find in the description of this video. But the reason why I'm an affiliate is because staying up to date with events around the world can be quite difficult, and it's impossible to consult a single source for the full story. Narratives that shape public opinion often just reinforce media and corporate-backed vested interests. Information is released faster than it can be verified, and reporting favors clickbait content over high quality journalism. There are manipulative algorithms that reinforce our own biases. Mainstream media overshadows independent reporting, and it's hard to know what information to trust. So I use Ground News, the app, as well as the website. It combines news from around the world in one place, so you can compare coverage. For every news source, you can see if they have a political bias and how reliable their reporting is and who owns them. They even have a blind spot feed that highlights news disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. So you can check out my affiliate link in the description. You can subscribe through them to get a percentage off the Vantage subscription. It's the one I use to get unlimited access to every feature. So they might have updated the percentage, the discount that you get. It may be 40% now. So they have sent me revised scripts and information. since they've renewed my affiliation with them. So go check that link out. Right, so let's get back to the story then. I was going to have a quick scroll of another media publication, City AM, that has also reported on this. Piers Morgan lands $30 million backing as Uncensored goes global. And I was just going to have a quick scroll to see if there was anything additional that we didn't get in the Sky News story. It's pretty much reading the same. It will be the same as the press release that was essentially released. Press release was released. But I'm curious about the Rain Group. So I've done a quick Google. The Rain Group is a global merchant bank focused on technology, media, and telecommunications, providing advisory and investment services to high growth sectors. Founded in 2009 by Joseph Ravitch and Jeffrey, is it Stein? Scene. The Rain Group specializes in advising and investing in the technology, media, and telecommunication sectors. The firm has established a strong reputation for its strategic focus and expertise, leveraging a vast network to access global opportunities. Rain operates with a unique business model that emphasizes repeat business from existing clients rather than extensive pitches for new engagements. Okay, so they offer advisory services, investment management, and their notable transactions and clients. Merger of William Morris Agency and Endeavour Talent Agency, forming William Morris Endeavour. Notable clients also Endeavour, SoftBank Group, WWE, and various Premier League football clubs. The firm has made investments in companies like Vice Media, DraftKings, Jagex, what's that, and SoundCloud. Their global presence, offices in major cities, including New York, San Francisco, London, Paris, Mumbai, Shanghai, and Singapore. The Rain Group maintains a global footprint, allowing it to effectively serve clients across different regions and markets. It stands out as a leading merchant bank, etc., etc. And there you have, let's see, quickly. Clicking on people's sites and then getting lots of pop-ups and then having my email and such sort of pop up on the screen. Guys, protect your data. So they're an integrated merchant bank advising and investing in high growth sectors of technology, media, and telecom. Our strategic focus, expertise, and valuable network across these sectors provided access to global opportunities. Interesting. So you see all the logos there. And have they announced this themselves? Do they have they didn't do it themselves. Interesting. Curiouser and curiouser. So clearly this is something that's been going on behind the scenes, and it's been in development. So let's see. It's interesting because what I find with these kinds of announcements and trying to sort of like spot trends is, okay, so we're in this sort of current phase of technology where, gosh, I mean, how many podcast episodes do you see out there by other publishers about sort of like AI taking over, right? So when I look at sort of the sort of transitions of print to digital and now digital slashing a lot of sort of staff and resources because of AI, I wonder, when you have sort of announced an announcement like this, what does that tell us about how sort of new media, digital media will look in the future? And I think this isn't just news. So the Uncensored brand doesn't look like it will be just news. I'm thinking, if I'm Piers Morgan, I would probably want domination of the culture. Now, I would seriously want my brand to inject itself into sort of a cultural landscape, and that's not just news. Yes, it's through independent sort of media, through channels like YouTube, but I'd probably want to sort of really inject the brand in spaces like he has put here, like history and entertainment and such. So, ooh, it's interesting. It's very revealing where wealth is looking to invest itself and where there is potential for investment. I wouldn't have thought that there would be anyone investing in this kind of thing. Only because we are so governed by our algorithmic feeds, you would need a really competitive brand and sort of content platform to be able to compete with the amount of stuff that's chucked at us. So I'm really surprised, but there's clearly stuff that might not be immediately apparent that may become so. And I will be keeping my eye on it. So I will come back with an update. Thank you so much for tuning in again to another episode, if you like, here, where I'm providing you with media and news commentary, as well as my podcast systems and questions. And if you haven't already subscribed, it really does help me. So please do that. And I'll catch you in the next one.